Hey everyone, this is Al Acterys here, Managing Director of Architecture and Platforms here at FP Automation. Welcome back to our series on financial planning and analysis within Fabric powered by Acterys. In this video, part 1, we will be talking all about the admin control tower view and how this can be extremely helpful to your team in order to give you true visibility into where your plan is at, allowing you to ensure that your plan is done on a timely basis, while also enabling you to also be able to create different scenarios as well as copy data as a starting point as your team starts to reforecast throughout the year. What you can see right here is that we have a full page navigation view where you can select on any referenceable page right here for the entire full 3 financial statement process. On the top, we also have the ability to be able to select scenarios, which we'll be planning against throughout this particular year, as well as the time period and then entities that we'll be planning against too. One pain point that we have heard constantly from various different finance teams is the ability to have visibility into where a plan or a forecast is particularly at for certain departments as well as certain organizations. Within Fabric powered by Acterys, we're able to guarantee a multitude of various different solutions to help. What we are doing is we're working with our clients to ultimately give them the ability to see tasks, the start dates and the end dates for these tasks to know what key tasks need to be done for any given time point, allowing for true project management of the financial planning process, along with a read-only status view showcasing each department and organization, and from a status perspective where they stand and when exactly the status was last updated, and then any comments in respect to this particular status. Not only do we have the ability to view the different statuses, which ones are complete, in progress, or not started, we can also immediately see, for example, statuses showcasing to us where exactly they're at. And then in addition to that, we have the ability to be able to adjust them. So imagine right now, I can go to this particular department and entity. I can make an adjustment using a drop-down selection from the Acterys table edit visual, giving me tabular editing capability right from within the model. And then in addition to this, I can also write a comment. So I can also go ahead and put a comment here that this department is now completed for 2024, right within a commentary window. We also have other drop-down selections and other locked fields that are locked into our particular scenario and year that we're on currently. And by doing so, when we save our particular values, we can immediately see the model immediately change to show us the new statuses and how they're changing and progressing. So not only do you as a manager have the ability to be able to see exactly where teams are at, you also have the ability to see real-time updates and know exactly the date and whom is making that update to get updated information in real time. We can also see email information in order to be able to email that individual to get a status update if we wish, or a Teams message, of course, or any sort of communication conversation tool you're using. In addition to this, we can also do things like managing security. Security is an extremely important aspect of any financial planning and analysis solution. We know that there will be a multitude of users, and we want to ensure that your team has the ability to be able to institute row-level security in order to lock down dimensions as well as cubes so that your users do not have the ability to plan or see anywhere where they're not supposed to. So with the Acterys visual, we also get the ability to be able to not only assign roles for specific users, but also assign what particular organizations and scenarios they have access to. So for example, Scott right here is a planner, as we can see from this particular view, and he only has access to be able to see the European group for this particular scenario. And we can ultimately add more values for Scott to be able to plan on using the Acterys table edit visual. So you saw statuses before for status tracking, seeing all the various different planners and where they stand in terms of submitting their plan. And then we can also track security as well. Another big one too is the ability to be able to copy data in between scenarios. We have a lot of use cases where many different users are looking for the ability to be able to copy data from a particular start date and end date to a particular start date and end date. So imagine now, right, we can go ahead and we could take the forecast. Let's go ahead and let's copy that. We can take the forecast value right here, and we can copy that to a particular scenario. Let's go ahead and copy to what if scenario 8 right here. We also have a date selection where we can take any date we wish, and it also has IntelliSense to allow us to be able to smart select a value. So let's go ahead and let's do this for 2024-06-01. Not only do we have the ability to copy from the same start date and end date, but we can also copy to, let's say, 6 months in the future if we want to take our last year's data and use that as a starting point for this year. But for this particular example, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll copy over to the same particular months so that everything is aligned right here. So within a few seconds right here, you can see that I can not only save this particular value, but I can also see that the data is immediately aligned between both of these scenarios for these particular months that I selected, all within seconds. Think about how powerful that is. Your team has the ability to have a forecast from a previous forecast submission as a starting point for their new reforecast so that you can have scenario over scenario comparisons to see how your forecast is progressing as you're moving throughout the year. Or of course, if you want to be able to compare against best case, worst case, and other anomaly scenarios that you may want to plan for and see the impact that has on your financials from a cash flow perspective. And last but not least, we also have the Gantt visual. With Acterys, Acterys also comes with a Gantt visual, giving you the ability to project manage directly within the tool. So what I can actually do is I can actually go ahead and I can create tasks all within the tool right here. I can add a new task, I can give it a name, and then I can also indicate the start date and the end date by leveraging the task details right here. I can indicate the start date and the end date. I can also assign resources to a particular task right here, and I can give that task a name, giving you the ability to do project management for your plan as you're moving throughout the plan cycle right here. This gives you a true administration end-to-end solution, allowing you to assign tasks, project manage, administer security, as well as check for status updates and copy data in between scenarios as a starting point for the broader audience of users who will be planning within the solution right here. We hope you enjoyed this particular video. We're looking forward to seeing your feedback on the next video series right here where we will be getting into revenue planning. And thank you. And this is Alp Actinus with FP Automation signing out.